Hello, my stamping friends. My name is Holly Peterson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Last month, we made this cute card at my Christmas card class, and it's really quick and easy to put together. We'll lay that over there. I'll go over the supplies. It uses the Party Alphabet dies. They're huge, they're big letters. They measure about two and a quarter inches tall, and like the M is like 1 7/8 wide. So you can make some really cute banners or scrapbook pages, even cards with short words on it. So we used those. And then I used the Jolly Holly stamp set. Real red and white adhesive back peppermints. The Forever Plaid embossing folder. The designer paper that I used is retired. It's the Take a Bow. That's the paper that I used for my class. But a good substitute would be Christmas Tags and More 6x6. You could cut one of the letters out of one of these little sections here, or the back side. Again, you could cut the letter out of that section there, or that side. I like this one, very cool. So this would work great as well. This one also has little punch outs. A neat pack of paper that you can make some quick, easy cards with. So again, that was the Christmas Tags and More. I'll give you the supplies, the dimensions. So I have a thick basic white card base, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I have real red, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Granny apple green, 4 by 5 1/4. Again, the Take a Bow retired paper, 2 1/4 by 6 for the envelope. And then for class, I pre-cut all the letters for my stampers and put them in this little bag. And then this also has their twine and the size that you need to cut the letters, 1 5/8 by 2 1/4. The Granny Apple Green is embossed with the Forever Plaid. I didn't do that ahead of time, so let me just go ahead and step over to my cut and emboss machine. I like to use this line at the bottom when I'm trying to make my design straight. I will line my card up with the bottom of with that line there. And whenever you use an embossing folder, you always want the folded edge to go in your embossing machine first. I'll be right back. I just realized I don't have my plate. Hold on one sec for me. So sorry. For the 3D embossing folders, you need plate 4. So you'll use the platform 1 and the plate number 4. Okay. So we're going to just adhere the Granny Apple Green to the Real Red. I'm going to use liquid glue for that. And this one doesn't matter which side. The main lines are debossed, so they go in, or they're raised up on the other side. So it doesn't really matter whichever your preference is. We'll just give that an even border all the way around. Down here I got a little too heavy with the glue. We'll go ahead and fold our card base and then reinforce it with a bone folder. Got some of that glue on my fingers. And then this piece just gets layered on here. It's going to have a little skinny border. If your seal doesn't want to start, you can use your silicone mat, start it on your silicone mat, and then it will adhere to your paper better. Sometimes it just needs to get started, and I find using my silicone mat rather than using my fingers to move it works really great. And of course, the adhesive won't stick to that mat. So we'll get that down. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip all of these over and put dimensionals on the back of them. Get them going the right way. You want to put quite a few on here just so it doesn't sag. Oops, that one's gonna. And I'll put one right there. That should be okay. We'll put a little one there. You could use these edges when you have a long skinny strip like this. Use up all the edges and everything on your dimensionals. Okay. So I'm just going to lightly lay them down. Of course, I want them kind of straight. Now this O does have a skinnier end and a fatter end. I think I like the skinnier part up. Oh, and I'm down too low. And then once you have them where you want them, just press them down. We're going to use these cute embellishments. And I didn't go get my take your pick tool. So this time I think I'm going to go big and then medium. And this one I did the big on the top and down to the little. This one will do the big one at the bottom. Scoot that over just a little bit, I think. Okay, and then I gave them a piece of the red and white twine. And when I tie a double bow, I like to double it. And then I'm right-handed, so I make a loop over here with my right hand and then just go around and then push both of those two layers through. We're going to cut this. And then you can make that as big or as little as you want it. And then pull it tight. And instead of wrapping around the O, I'm just going to stick it on with a glue dot. I'm going to fold my glue dot in half. And then I'm just going to stick it on my O. And then just push my bow down on top of it. We can trim these ends a little bit. Like that. And then for the inside, all we're going to do is stamp Merry Christmas with real red. And it's two separate stamps, so I've mounted them on one block together. I'm just going to put that in the middle-ish. And then in that stamp set, it has this little leaf image as well. We're going to use garden green. And these are the colors that are in this paper. And we're going to stamp one that way and one this way. And then I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm just going to color in those leaves. You could stamp one of these leaf images on your envelope. I did not do that on my sample. I just covered the back of the flap with some paper. I'll show you how I did that. The Wink of Stella pulls in some of that green from the outline. So it kind of colors it, gives it a nice little shimmer. Okay. When you get done with that, you'll want to wipe this on some scratch paper just to get that ink off of there. So that is our card. Now for our envelope, I like to bring my silicone mat in, and I just use my seal and I go right on the edge and the flap here, and then I try to get as close to the fold as I can up there. And then, like I said, this is 2 1/4 by 6. And you're going to just make sure that you overlap the envelope on both ends. And then you're going to just put it right up against the fold. And then you can turn it over. This must have been 3 inches instead of 2 1/4. Usually it's not that much that you cut off. I think because it was 6 by 6, I just cut it in half at 3 inches. But then you just take your snips and follow the edge of the envelope. And there we have a cute, quick, easy Christmas card. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I greatly appreciate it. Bye for now.